Today, man, we're going to be going over some budget cards right now for College 25. So budget cards for me, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of cards under 100,000 coins. None of these guys are going to cost a whole lot. And I'm going to give you guys a card for every single position in the game. Some positions, multiple players like wide receiver, corner, safety, and stuff like that. So we got a lot of cards to get through, man. Let's get right to it. I think it's only right that we start off with the quarterback, right? So for the quarterback, we got Shedeur Sanders. He's going to cost you around 85,000 coins. Now, the prices I am going off of are on Xbox as well. I know PlayStation's a little more, so, just keep that in mind. But I've seen a lot of people use the Shedeur Sanders card, especially in head-to-head. I've played against him a ton, and looking at his stats, he doesn't look too bad. Well, hell, I even have him as a backup. I haven't used him, obviously, to backup, but he's got 92 speed, which isn't horrible. 94 throw power, not bad. And his accuracies are really, really good. And like I said, I play a ton of head-to-head, and I see this guy all the time. For the running backs, I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson. It's going to cost you around 65,000 coins, or if you completed the field pass last season, you got him for free. And, considering he's a free back or only a 60,000 coin running back, pretty good. I mean, 95 speed. He's got good COD. He can break tackles. He's also got a really good juke and spin move. So he's a pretty good running back. I mean, I don't have him as my backup running back anymore, but, look, I have a pretty loaded team, but he is a really good running back, and there was games where I actually had to use him as my starter when Reggie Bush kind of got knocked out the game, and he was able to carry the workload. He's a good back. For the wide receivers, so I'm gonna give you guys two wide receivers for this one. The first one's gonna be Jalen Waddle. He's looking at around 85,000 coins right now, and I mean I still use Jalen Waddle on my team. He's one of my favorite receivers I've used all year. He's just so good, man. He's really fast. His route running is nice, and one of the things that I love so much is he's just really good after the catch with 96 change direction, 94 juke move, and he actually even has a 79 run block. You always want to have some receivers that can run block a little bit, especially if you run the ball a lot like me. But for the other wide receiver, we're going to go with Tez Johnson, who is actually the cheapest card that we've shown so far on this list, 50,000 coins. I just actually recently got rid of him. I picked up Braxton Miller again, but this card is really good. Like, I could have still kept him if I really wanted to. He's playing really good for me. 95 speed, which is still, I think, really solid speed in this game. Pretty good route running. I think his only letdown is his catching is not the best, which I did notice at the times. He wouldn't always reel in those tough catches, but he could definitely get open, and he can make some plays after the catch with that 96 change of direction, 94 juke, and a 92 spin. I loved this card a lot when I used him. So for the tight ends, we're going to go with Tanner Kazoil. He is actually now the cheapest card we've shown on the list. 45,000 coins for this guy, and he's one of the fastest tight ends in the game. The guy's also 6'7", really big. His route running is really good. I use this guy on my team. He even has 91 change of direction. There's not a lot of tight ends that have at least 90 change of direction. He's one of the very few guys. He's been really good for me. His only downside is he's not a very good run blocker, but the guy can get open. So we had to put fullbacks on here because, I mean, fullback is an offense position, and I said we're doing all positions. So for the fullback one, those two free fullbacks that you literally get for logging in for whatever the promo's called. I can't remember what it's called, but it's Alex Teska, and the other guy's name's like Carson or something like that. You can upgrade them both to 95s. I would say these are the best ones because they're literally free, and if you quick sold them or something, you can buy them back for like 9,000 coins. We are now going to be moving on to the offensive line. After this, we'll move on to the defensive side of the ball. So for the first thing we're going to talk about is the left tackle, Xavier Chaplin. This guy's going to average at around 55,000 coins, and I'm looking at this guy, and you know what? He might need to be on my team. This guy looks amazing. 6'7", 323, straight diesel right there, and he's got the stats to back it up. I mean, look at this. He's got good pass blocking stats and good run blocking stats. You don't get that much. That doesn't happen much for most of the offensive linemen in this game. It's usually one way or the other way. So I might be picking this guy up myself. Right down to the line to the left guard, we got Tyler Booker. This guy's going to average at around 45,000 coins. And another guy that just looks really good, 6'5", 325, another big guy. Good pass blocking stats and, decent run blocking stats. And that's the thing I think they've done in this game a lot of the year is I've noticed the lower overall linemen just always seem that they're better than a lot of the higher overall linemen. For the center, we got Caden Kittler. This guy's averaging at around 85,000 coins. This is actually the center that I have on my team. And he's still arguably, honestly, one of the best centers in the game. But yeah, obviously they just dropped recently a few new centers that are really, really good. But I think Caden Killer still holds up really good with a lot of those guys. We only got a couple offensive linemen left. Right guard Ben Powers looking to be around 65,000 coins. And arguably actually no, not arguably, he is the best right guard in the game in my opinion. I know there's that Shanahan card they dropped, but he doesn't look very good at all. Powers is another card I actually have on my team. Pretty good pass blocking stats and also some really good run blocking stats. Our last offensive lineman, right tackle John Savania. I think that's how you say his name. 6'5", 336. A lot of these guys are just straight diesel, man, and he's really good. Very good pass blocking stats and moderately decent run blocking stats. I remember I used his card in the beginning of the year. The guy was really good. So, and honestly, after doing these lists, looking at a lot of these budget linemen, some of these guys might be on my team. Now moving on to the defensive side of the ball, we're going to start off with some safeties. And first up at free safety, we're going to go Preston Zachman. This is a guy I do use on my team. He's averaging at around 80,000 coins. And he's a really good card. 6'1", 212, a bigger DB, 95 speed, really good speed for a DB. And he's got the coverage stats, 90 man and 96 zone. Like I said, I use this guy on my team, and the guy plays really good. For the other safety position, strong safety, we're going to go with Sage Ryan, who is also averaging at around 80,000 coins. Now, I know he's a little bit smaller DB, 5'11". It's another guy I actually have on my team, but I'll tell you this right now, man. This is one of the best DB cards I've used all year. This guy attacks the ball. Well, that's because he actually has the trait, play ball aggressive, which is definitely a trait you should be looking at on all of your DBs. It's just going to make them play so much better. But this guy just plays so good, man. I know his coverage stats and all that stuff don't look anything too crazy, 91 man, 93 zone. But I'm telling you, man, I don't even have any abilities on the guy, but he knocks people out the game, and he plays that ball. So we're going to talk about the corners now. I got two corners I'm going to give you guys. And if there's one thing you've noticed in this game, corners are one of the most expensive positions in this game. And I say that because this is the most expensive card on the list. Cameron Dantzler, 95,000 coins is what he's probably going to run you. But 6'2" DB, really good size. He got 95 speed. His man cover stats are they're nasty. 97 man with 94 press mixed in with that. Really good card. For the other corner, I'm going to go with Denzel Burke. His price is at about 85,000 coins. Like I said, corners aren't cheap, man. They're just really not cheap. It's probably the most expensive position in the game. But these two guys are really good, I got to say. Another guy that's 95 speed, got some height to him as well, 6'1", and some pretty good coverage stats. So I think they're two pretty good cards. We're now going to move on to the linebackers, outside linebackers, middle linebackers, all that stuff. First up, left outside linebacker Michael Parsons. 80,000 coins is what it's probably going to cost you, which I'm not going to lie, 80,000 coins is insane because this is one of the best pass rushers in the game. 93 speed, he's one of the fastest, 96 power move, and he's got a 96 block shed. And if you want to, you can use him, you can drop him in coverage. There really isn't anything you can't do. This is officially the cheapest card so far on the list. Right outside linebacker Kyle Van Noy, 40,000 coins. And honestly, it's still pretty crazy to think that this is still one of the because I remember the last time I was doing like these budget beast videos, Kyle Van Noy was on here. The guy is still on here. I mean, if you look at the outside linebackers, there's a lot of them aren't very good, or a lot of them are just extremely expensive, and there's just a lot of them are just bad. Just straight up, that's just what it is. But Kyle Van Noy, I think, still holds up really good. He's similar to a Michael. He's like a Walmart Michael Parsons. He's pretty much just like him with the speed. He can kind of get after the quarterback, and you could also use him and drop him in coverage and all that stuff. This right here is going to be our last linebacker, middle linebacker Brock Horn, 65,000 coins. And he's really, really good. I use this card. I didn't get to use him for a whole too long because, you know, they started dropping a lot of really good middle linebackers. So I still have him on the team as a backup, though. But, man, this card is really good. He's 93 speed. He's got really good tackling stats. His coverage stats are really good. I'm telling you, if they didn't drop like the Anthony Hill, I'd probably still have Brock Horn out there. Last thing for the defense, we're going to talk about the defensive line. First up, left end, Trayvon Walker, 75,000 coins. And the big thing about this card is the guy gets gold quick jump. There's not a lot of defensive linemen in this game that get gold quick jump. And I'm actually going to give you guys two guys on this list. Yes, two guys on this list that get it that are under 100,000 coins. One of them being Trayvon Walker. I use him on my team. He's so good, man. You can use him any way you want. I've used him off the edge. I've rushed him off the the inside. He'll get after the quarterback no matter where you put him. As for our other defensive end, the right end, Julius Peppers, looking at around 80,000 coins. This guy also gets gold quick jump. I mean, it's just insane that two guys that get because like I said, there's just not that many. Gold quick jump is the best pass rushing ability in the game. It's amazing. I run 3.4, so maybe I'm a little biased. It, it just goes even crazier in there. But I know Julius Peppers, pass rushing stats might not look too crazy, but he's got really good block shed, and like I said, like I've played against him. I haven't used him, but I've played against him, and I'll tell you what, he can wreck some games. This is going to be our very last defensive lineman right here, Danny Shelton, 75,000 coins. This guy, I actually almost picked this guy up at one point. I remember he's 6'3", 345, massive man. 97 power move, 93 block shed, 87 speed isn't too crazy at the D tackle position, but we don't have an insane amount of crazy fast D tackles anyway, so I think he's fine. Now, we couldn't get out of here without talking about some special teams. We gotta throw the kicker and the punter in there. It's just what it is. We're going over every single position. For kicker, we're gonna go with Kenneth Almendares. I think that's how you say his name. I think I finally got his name right. This guy's got 94 kick power, which is the second highest kick power in the game. But the thing that makes him really unique is he gets platinum kicking abilities. He gets a platinum kicking ability that what it's supposed to do is when you go into the red, it's supposed to just pretty much negate that, where it doesn't even matter. He also gets mega leg. He gets the best abilities in the game. The guy's got a leg, you get him. This right here is our very final card, punter Tyler Perkins. This guy has been the best punter in the game since the day he came out. He came out a pretty long time ago, but I gotta say he's still the best punter in the game, and the reason why is because he has 90 kick power. I know they just dropped that 96 punter, but the guy doesn't have a leg. That's pretty much all the cards I have to give out today, though, and honestly, with all the cards we talked about, there's even more. There is a lot of budget cards on College Football 25, man. The market is extremely cheap. You can build a very good team with not a whole lot of coins. Hell, if you picked up all these cards that I talked about in this video, then it would cost you about 1.4 mil if you picked up all these cards to like make a whole new team. So think about that. Like 1.4 mil could create you an entire team, and not just an entire team, a very good team that's going to be able to compete with pretty much anybody on the game. So that's pretty crazy. If there's any other cards that we didn't talk about in this video that are under 100,000 coins that you want to comment down in the comments and let other people know about, then you guys can go ahead and do that. But that is pretty much all I have for this one, though, boys. If you guys did enjoy the video, man, drop a like. If you're not subbed to the channel, sub to the channel. There's lots of more College Football 25 content on the way. You don't want to miss out. But till next time, man, I'll see y'all in the next one.